Hello, friends. Welcome to Gracefully Finesse Podcast. I'm Greg Acha, your host. In this podcast, we cover a wide range of topics, diverse topics, and today is not different. We've got a very important topic for you, a very important topic, the magic of kindness. And I've got a great guest here today, Karolina Acha, to dive into this topic. Before we go further, Carol, could you take a moment to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. So, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate the invitation and I'm really looking forward to this conversation. I'm Karolina. I'm a builder. I love to innovate. I've been in learning and development space for about 20 years now. This is definitely something which I'm super passionate about. I was born in Poland and lived there most 40 years, but right now I'm based in Luxembourg. On the personal side, I have two daughters, 12 and 16. I love to play tennis. I love to read. I love to just sit with my thoughts. I'm more like on the introvert side. So being here today is a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but I love this kind of conversation. That is why I'm really excited about it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. And I look forward to a very honest conversation with you today.
Absolutely.
So let's get into it. So let's start on the topic of the magic of kindness. What is kindness for you?
This is a very powerful question. Kindness is the way I think about it is a moment of giving somebody or giving yourself a deep presence and also seeing a need and be able to act on it.
Right.
So if I can give you an example, you are in the shop, right? And you see a person that is, the cash assistant, right?
Yeah.
Just scanning all the items. And you see that something is wrong with that person.
Right.
Asking, hey, how are you? Is everything okay?
Oh, wow.
Could be a moment of kindness.
Right.
Because you see this person, you're asking if everything is okay. And it could be that you're actually addressing that need of really being curious and being present in that conversation.
Right.
So that could be like as simple as that.
Wow. Thank you. That's really deep. You know, if I summarize what you said kindness is giving. That word giving, is very important for me, but giving yourself or someone else a moment of attention.
Yes.
Let's talk about self-kindness. Why is it important for us to be kind to ourselves?
Yeah, I think it's super important for us to like really start with ourselves. It helps you to, one, reconnect with yourself.
Right.
It helps you to improve your self-awareness.
Right.
So like really starting with you and being kind to yourself, it enables you to do it for others. So just giving an example, you have a very important business meeting during the day. It's very important for you. You are kind of stressed. And you start having this self-talk and doubting into yourself, can I do it? Will I manage it successfully? Will I achieve everything I want to do out of this meeting or out of this conversation? So one of act of kindness that you can do in this kind of moment, you can say, I've been in these situations before. I've been successful in those situations.
Right.
What will happen if, it will not go well? Does this define who I am? No. Does this confirm my value? No. So like really being able to ask some of those questions
Right.
first and have that conversation with yourself, These are like a super small act of kindness.
Right.
And then additionally, even like releasing pressure from yourself,
Right.
some of those social expectations that are around you, is very important that you do it first with you.
Right. Yeah. Like they say, charity begins at home.
Absolutely.
And I think, when you start to practice the self-kindness, that actually empowers you, gives you more empathy to be able to give it to others. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Yes, absolutely. And then additionally, you are creating like a habit, like a
Correct.
routine, so it's not anymore like an ambiguous space that you really don't know how to do it. It will sound awkward.
Right.
You know
You
what to
practice
do,
it,
you
right?
practice it, and then, doing it to somebody else is so much
Becomes
easier.
like, yeah, I hear you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, that's very deep. Can you share a personal experience or story when kindness made a difference for you?
That's a good one. Let me just sink in for a moment with this question. I think I had a lot of those moments.
Right.
But the one that kind of, comes to my mind right now, it was a moment when I was really vulnerable. And one of my daughters actually saw that, that it was kind of a bit of low moment for me. I was doubting myself. I wasn't that much of confident. And sometimes we feel that kids don't really see things,
Right.
what is going on, that they do. I didn't share anything, but maybe just my behavior, my reactions gave this kind of signals. So, suddenly she came with a box of small papers.
Oh, wow.
And in that box, on those papers, there were like small affirmations. I'm proud of you. I love you. You make me a better person. And like when I saw it, it completely unpacked that moment of feeling I'm not enough, I can't do this, I'm not confident. It kind of built immediately me up.
Oh, wow.
Because I experienced that she have understood what I need, and she did like super something simple.
Oh, wow.
And gave me that moment of presence, and she acted on it. And I have this box with me all the time. So in any of this moment, I just bring one of those papers and I look at it, and I'm kind of reflecting of all that experience to say, I've been there, I can overcome it, I can do this. And it kind of powers me back.
I see you have tears in your eyes.
Yes, it's a kind of emotional. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, but I think we don't really realize how a simple thing can make like a huge difference for somebody.
Right. So what I hear you say is kindness can be a simple act.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you, which of your daughters, is it the 16-year-old or the 12-year-old?
12, yeah.
Oh, wow. So it means that kindness, anybody can be kind.
Absolutely.
Children can be kind. Adults can be kind. Male can be kind. Females, everyone can be kind. Kindness is universal. Would you agree with me?
Absolutely. Kindness doesn't know the age. Kindness doesn't know the gender.
Wow.
Kindness doesn't know the location
Wow.
or region or time zone. It's something which is accessible for everybody. And I think, the title of this podcast is Magic of Kindness. And I think for me, that magic is that it is free for everybody. It doesn't require anything. Each of us, we are billionaires when it comes to kindness. And it's something which you can always give to others, to yourself, and you will never lack. So the more you give, it's like recharging automatically. The more you give, the more you have in stock. So like really being able to understand this, being able to recognize this, kind of fuels you and empowers you to just act, to just do it. But like I said, it requires a moment of presence. that you're giving to yourself or to somebody else. So you need to take yourself out of that autopilot mode to be able to do that.
Thank you. Kindness is free. I like that. So I'm a kind billionaire.
Yes.
I can, oh wow, that's one thing I'm taking away here. That every one of us is a billionaire in kindness. And as the more you give, the more you get. Wow. I will leave this studio today to kind of give out more of my kindness. Thank you so much for sharing that, Carol.
Absolutely.
Let's get deeper. Because we're talking about kindness, kind of, let's say superficially. What are the examples, practical examples, or everyday examples of kindness?
It can be simple as remembering somebody's birthday.
Oh, wow.
It can be simple as asking somebody, how are you? How are you truly doing? Hugging, like sometimes it's not really, you don't have to say anything. Sometimes it's your body language. Sometimes it's just to stop. Sometimes it's to hold somebody's hand. Sometimes it's to give somebody a seat in the bus on a tram, somebody who is struggling maybe with 10 bags or child and, all those kind of stuff. So it doesn't have to be like a big thing, a big act. And I think that there is a power and there is magic in those simple moments, in those simple acts and actions. I think also, when we think about work environment, it could be, how can I support you? Can I give you feedback that will help you to grow?
Right.
Can I have a conversation with you? So let's unpack this complex problem together. So these are the kind of examples that everyone can take. And I think it is also like what resonates with you.
Right.
Also, what are those acts that you feel comfortable
natural with
you, right?
Right.
There are also maybe cultural differences that play a role in it as well. So, kind of having this and navigating into it, what resonates with you the most in your cultural environment, in the moment and all that. I think these are just a few examples that I will recommend to start with.
Thank you. Now you touched on the workspace. Let's kind of get into that area because I think it's an area that probably sometimes lacks kindness, right? So how can kindness be truly demonstrated? I know you touched on it briefly. Truly demonstrated in the workplace, and what are the benefits of it?
Yeah, I agree with you that specifically in corporate environment, kindness is not in vogue, using this kind of language. And people feel like when you're kind to somebody, it's like so much unique moment that they are just kind of blown away, which is unfortunately a very sad sentiment around it. I think when it comes to kindness builds trust. Kindness builds connection. And in every team, in every relationship, trust and that connection enable people to be at their best.
Right.
So when you kind of apply it into teams or into organizations, when you have trusted partners, when you have collaborative, well-connected team, well-connected organization, it kind of boosts everybody's, they're all at their best, but also that collective power of people kind of can take that team into completely something else. And we say it's like these are high-performing teams, right? Because they trust themselves, they have a very strong connection, but it's also that connection as humans, right? And I think this is something what we often forget in workplace. you have business objective, you have big business strategies, but at the end, people are delivering these things.
Right.
People are operating to be able to, take the best outcomes of it. So you need to really get back to those basics to build that fundament and focus on centralized people.
Right. Wow. I agree with you. Kindness build trust. It creates better collaboration within teams. And the last thing you said that it creates high performing teams. I think there's a book I read. I think it was by Sinek. Simon Sinek, where he talked about high performing teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that there are two other elements which I forgot to mention is also around taking risk and also around innovation. Right? So this is another element which I think in current environment is very, very important. So when you have those trusted teams, when you have that element in the team, the level of risk that you can take, the level of innovation
it's increased,
it's absolutely increasing.
You feel more comfortable with it. It's a comfortable environment.
Absolutely.
And a trusted environment. I agree with you. But why do you think people are not acting with kindness these days? Especially, we're right now in the, let's say, in the workspace, work environment. Why do you think that kindness is lacking?
I think there are a lot of things which play a huge role into this. So it is not like a one thing factor. I would say that there are different dimensions of it. One of them is people are just overwhelmed.
Right.
Overwhelmed with ambiguity, overwhelmed with complexity that they have to deal with. They are overwhelmed with the speed of change that is happening at work, outside of work. There is level of uncertainty in the world. We have so many different things going on in the world. From the security point of view, the financial point of view, like there's so many things to think about. But on the other hand, people also feel lonely. There are a lot of different researchers right now and studies around young people feel super lonely, even though you think like, okay, they are all the time on the phone, you think that they are talking with a lot of people, but there is no really a connection there. You can have 5,000 followers on Instagram, but actually maybe 5 of these folks and you have a real connection with only 5 people. So there is that loneliness in the crowd, which I think also plays a role. And then the other element, people just centralize themselves. They don't really think about others around them. And I think that really connects to that presence. I'm using that autopilot word. What I mean by that is that people are just running that routine of every day, this and that. And they are missing that presence.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And also, I think personally, I also think that one of the things that it makes make it look like kindness is missing in the workplaces is that people tend to attribute kindness to weakness. When you're kind, people tend to see you as a weak leader, as a weak person. Will you agree with that?
Yeah,
what are your thoughts?
Personally, I got this kind of feedback, in some of my this kind of reviews. Anyway, like you are too emotional, you are too much focused on people. And for me, it will never be a sign of weakness.
No.
For me, it will be always sign of strength. Because in my kind of mental model, people deliver the results. So if you don't have that people connection, it means
the
that
business is people.
You will always miss that element, right? So yes, one of those misconceptions is that kindness is weakness. The other one could be that kindness is to be nice, right? Which I think is not the thing. Kindness.
There's difference between being nice and being kind.
Absolutely, and I can give you an example.
Right.
So, kind of the difference between kindness and being nice is that if you are nice, you want to make the other person feel good.
Right.
Right? But sometimes you may want to make that person feel good, but it actually doesn't benefit that person.
Yeah.
It doesn't address the need.
Right.
So if we look at a workplace, there is a culture of feedback, right? So I can be nice to you and say, Greg, you are a great leader. You're doing a great job. You're delivering great results. And I want to make you feel good, right? And this is when I'm being nice to you. Yeah. But when I'm kind, I can say, hey, I want you really to grow. Yeah. I want you to be at your best. Can I offer you a piece of feedback? And this is where my act of kindness coming into play. And this is when I can say, hey, you've been a great communicator, but I think the area of your growth could be that sometimes it's important to listen as well.
Right.
So my intention here is not make you only nice, feel good, and
help
that
me get better.
Absolutely, right. So this is the difference.
Which is the essence of this podcast. Helping people get better.
Absolutely, right. So this is the kind of differentiator. Yeah. And I think when you actually realize it, and when you really practice it, it kind of makes that difference and help people to really understand what it is about.
Wow! I've learned a lot myself, during this time. But it seems we're running out of time, and I really want to continue because I have a lot of questions. There's a lot still to discuss on the magic of kindness. Will you accept to join me on the studio some other time in the future to have a second part of this?
Yes, absolutely. Happy to be here and happy to share my thoughts and my story.
Awesome. I'm so grateful. So Carol will join us again in the future, but we'll be wrapping it up here for today, the magic of kindness. To summarize quickly, there has been so immense things you said, deep things. You said kindness is giving presence to yourself or to someone else. You talked about self-kindness. I love that, talking to yourself, self-affirmation. And you said this kindness can be a simple act. And there was something else that we got here is that everyone can be kind. Kindness is universal, and you said kindness builds trust. It helps you get better. It helps teams get better. It also creates high-performing teams. You talked about uncomfortable feedback to help people grow. But one big one that my big takeaway is that kindness is free.
Yeah.
And that we have like billions of kindness in our bank account, and we should go spend it.
Absolutely.
So that's I'm gonna leave that with you, everyone, my audience out there. Kindness is free. Go spend your kindness. Personally, I'm leaving this studio now to look for where, actually actively, proactively look for where and who I can be kind to, beginning with myself. So we're wrapping it up there today. Be on the lookout for the second part of this topic on the magic of kindness. Let me know on the comment section if this has been an addition to you. And follow me on Instagram. All my details is on the bio section. Karolina's details as well is on the bio section. You can reach out to her. Until I come your way next time, continue to be kind. Go around, spread the kindness, spread the love, and do have a great day.